Chapter 61. Continuation of the fourth day of creation. For as long as man is a creature, he is temporal, transitory, and cannot endure. Because every man in his natural state is merely a suitable vessel within which a man proper can develop, through God's constant participation. Once the outer vessel has reached the right degree of development, to which end God has provided same with all essential parts and properties overabundantly, he then awakens, or rather develops, his uncreated, eternal spirit within man's heart. And this spirit in its effect is what Moses understands and wishes to be understood by the two great lights which God put in the firmament. The way it also was understood, and never otherwise, by all patriarchs and prophets. This eternal, uncreated, eternally live light in the heavenly firmament of man, only then is the really true ruler of the actual day within man, teaching the former vessel to fully transform itself into its uncreated divine being, and to therefore make the entire man into a true child of God. Every created man, however, has a living soul, which indeed also is a spirit, with the necessary capacity to know the good and the true, and the evil and the false, acquiring the good and true and banishing the evil and false from itself. Nevertheless, it is not an uncreated, but a created spirit, and as such can never by itself gain the childhood of God. If, however, it has in all humility and modesty of heart, and from the free will implanted by God, accepted the good and true in accordance with the law given it, then such humble, modest, and obedient will has, to put it bluntly, become a heavenly firmament, because it has developed itself in accordance with the celestial placed within it, becoming then fully capable of assuming the uncreated divine nature. The purely divine or uncreated Spirit of God now placed permanently into such celestial firmament is the great light. Man's soul, however, which is transformed to an almost equally great light through the great light, is the smaller and lesser light, which, however, like the uncreated great light, is placed in the same celestial firmament and transformed to a co-uncreated light, without losing any of its natural nature, but instead gaining endlessly in a fully purified spiritual sense. Because by itself man's soul could never see God in his purest divine nature, and the purest, uncreated Spirit of God, conversely, could not see the natural, because for him nothing material natural exists. But through the above-mentioned complete conjunction of the purest Spirit with the soul, the latter can now see God in his arch-spiritual purest being, through the new Spirit that he received, and the Spirit can then see the natural through the soul. This Moses is saying, that a great light is to rule the day, and the lesser light the night, to determine the signs. That is, to determine out of all wisdom the basis for every appearance and all created things, therefore also determine the times, days, and years, which is to say, to recognize God's wisdom, love, and grace in all phenomena, The stars which Moses also mentions are the countless useful cognitions, every individual thing, which latter, of course, all flow from the main cognition, and are therefore placed in the same heavenly firmament as the two main lights. And see, this at last is the fourth day of creation of which Moses speaks in Genesis, which nevertheless, as with the former three, has gone forth from the same evening and morning in man.